I'd like to call the August 21st, 2025 Wall City Council to order. Carolyn, would you please call roll?
Stan Anderson,
Here.
Morgan,
Here.
Houston,
Here.
Williams,
Here.
Hawk,
Here.
Hoffman, Mike Anderson. We do have a quorum.
Thank you. Let us stand and say the pledge of allegiance. Thank you. Would you lead us, please?
You going, me, Nathan?
I
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Is there any order of business for emergencies, Carolyn?
No,
Okay. Is there any attendance at Zoom?
not at this time.
Okay. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So move. Second.
Okay, so Rick moved, Dan seconded, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Does anyone have a conflict of interest to declare on any items on the agenda this evening? Seeing none. The minutes were in the packet from the August 7th city council meeting. Would I have a motion to approve?
Move.
Stan has moved.
Second.
Dan seconded. Any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Also included in the packet was the City of Wall Fire Department and Cemetery claims. City of Wall bills are claimed this evening are $33,215.53. Fire Department is $2,431.56. And the cemetery bills are $952.39. Are there any questions on any of the claims that have been included in the packet? If not, do I have a motion to approve the City of Wall Fire Department and cemetery claims? Jerry moved.
Second.
Dan seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Also for your review in the packet was the community center report. And that is for the months of August and September. Also is the July financials, which includes the income statement, revenue and expenditures, as well as the balance sheet. The budget reports for the city, which is includes the expense and the revenue reports. And then the bank account balance, that's a new format. It's very much easy to read. All right. With that being said, is there any questions on any one of those reports? Hearing and seeing none. That moves us to item 11 on the agenda, which is the ambulance report. We have our director here this evening. Welcome.
Good evening, thanks for having me. For the month of July, we had 14 calls for service. Of those 14, we had 6 transports to the hospital. Otherwise, the EMT students are doing well. They're probably have about 3 weeks left of class. Hopefully they'll be taking their national registry test probably somewhere around the end of September, 1st of October. And otherwise, we just got notified that we have a state inspection next week on our ambulances. Basically, the state comes in and just has a list of items that are supposed to be on the ambulances, and they just check them out. I have no doubt that all those items are on there, but anytime you have a state inspection, you double check and recheck. So we'll be doing that this weekend. Otherwise, any questions for me?
Is that inspection one where you leave something really minor or wrong, so they can please tell you the correct one?
Yes. It basically comes down to if we miss something, then probably it's sitting in the cupboard as an overstock item, and we go grab it and put it on the ambulance, but we'll, my son and I are on for 48 hours this weekend, so we'll definitely make sure it's all squared away, so,
Awesome.
okay,
Yay,
all right, thank you.
thank you very much. Have a great rest of the evening.
You too.
Also, we have with us tonight Dr. Krauser. Very busy lady, this time of year, so we're so
You
appreciative.
moved me up on the agenda.
Yeah,
It's good to be back. And I've been here all summer. I just have been in the office. It has been a very busy summer, but an excellent summer. What's my business manager say? It's been a lot of hard work, but doing good hard work is good. And so that's what my goal is to work hard, but make sure it's good hard work. Just a few things, school starts. I have put together a week of training for our teachers next week. One of the pieces is, it's called, it's like a first aid for mental, I'm not gonna say mental illness, but yeah, kind of a mental illness, first aid for adolescents. Department, it's through the state. We had one at our church a couple of years ago. It was so good. I'm bringing it to the school and it's grant funded. So, that's part of what we're doing. I invite all of you, the city, parents, everybody to supper on Tuesday, August 26th. It's our welcome back night, picnic out front of the school. I also, if you haven't looked at our new website, my new, my assistant principal is now our tech coordinator. She's doing both gigs and she has worked awfully hard and we've got another company helping us. But hopefully that website is gonna be very user friendly and show off what we are at, market us as a school, as Wall community, and there's even a community tab. So if there are things that we need to, that the community wants us to put on that community tab, let me know. But I'm hoping to have more kids and videos and all kinds of things on that website. The other thing is, I should have asked the ambulance director. So I went to a meeting yesterday. I'm going to write the play, the skit, and help direct it for Freshman Impact. Freshman Impact is held over at Douglas, and that's where we have it's for drinking and driving, a whole day for our freshmen, Douglas freshmen, and New Underwood freshmen are at ours. I'm writing the skit, and what it is it's a skit, sets it up where somebody died, or kids, people, whatever I plan to do, I've got it in mind, but it's gonna be a surprise. But then they go out in the parking lot and there's been a crash. Somebody, of course, has died, but where Rick McPherson used to be here, he said, Sally, I would love to have a Wall ambulance come. So these first responders can use this as a training because we've had the helicopter come in, ambulances, fire departments, and I'm probably gonna pull from some of my students acting. I'm also gonna possibly pull from a couple of adults for it's a short skit, but then whatever your skit is inside, then you go outside and here's this wreck that has been worked up. And then we leave the wreck and we go into the funeral or into whatever, and we set it up so it's very real like. So I would love to help Wall be more represented. I don't know if we can pull off an ambulance, if they can be, I don't know who that is to talk to. It's maybe not the city, it's probably ambulance themselves or first responders. But anyway, I like to be involved in include Wall, represent Wall and any of that stuff. Any questions for me? Football game tomorrow night at Phillip. There is supper, I think, for everybody at 6 o'clock. I think they're serving a big supper. And volleyball must be starting about first week of September after we're kind of back at school.
30th is the first game.
Is it August? Yes, it is. It's Labor Day, Labor Day weekend. Yes, it is, because I got a full weekend of activities.
So is Wall Eagles Live covering the football game tomorrow night, or is it? the
No,
game
it
on
will
TV?
be those,
It's KOT.
KOTA is covering it. I don't know. It's whoever would be at Phillip. Wall Eagles, we will cover our things.
Yeah, I think this
We-
is KOTA.
Yes, we sponsored for
Radio.
KOTA to cover it.
Well,
That's right now.
They're
People-
counting it for the whole game there.
Yep, News Radio, KOTA 1380.
So is it
it's
a radio or TV?
It's radio.
AM.
Okay, so it won't be televised. like-
And then it's
Um,
on there.
Well, Phillip has usually got live ticket.
Well, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
That's
so
my
Phillip.
question. Okay,
Yeah,
Phillips.
I'm sorry, but go to Phillip's.
Okay,
Yeah, just not Wall. It
Okay.
won't be on ours.
okay.
But yeah, we have big numbers out for, and our attendance is up this year. I think right now we're about 280, and we just found a couple more students today that we don't have on we just haven't filled the paperwork, so there's a couple more. I think I've got 2 classes that are right next to 30 kids in a class,
High school or elementary? Or-
middle school and elementary.
Wow.
So yeah, it's gonna be a good year. I've got some seniors I told today, guess what comes with being a senior? They said leadership. I said, you knew what I was gonna say, get after it. We welcome anything at our school if you have questions, projects, whatever.
Well, it sounds exciting and, it's always fun to get off and going, so,
Yeah.
and you'll do a great job, so thank you, Dr. Krauser. Okay, at this point, there's an opportunity for public comments. This is a time for members of the public to discuss or express concerns to the council with any issue on or not on the agenda, and each person would have 3 minutes to address those concerns. Do we have any concerns this evening from the public? Okay, seeing none, moves us into the chamber director report then.
I had to bring my whole computer because my printer jammed that when I was trying to print it out. So I'll start with Rally Rush. That was our event that we had July 31st and August 1st. July 31st, it was at the Harley Davidson store. That was a great turnout. If any of y'all came by during that, we actually had a line kind of going around the building. Once people found out we were giving away free stuff, they showed up in groups. And it was great. The event in Lulu's was a completely different crowd. Both biker crowd, but they were there to stop and get a drink and get back on the road. They weren't trying to, you couldn't have given away anything there. They just wanted to get to the rally. It was just a stopping point where Wall was definitely, they were spending time here. We ended up giving away about 47 t-shirts, 100 koozies, 30 magnets, water, cookies, and an abundance of stickers and posters. I think y'all all are aware that the chamber restructured our committees. Some of them are similar. We just kind of defined them as best we could and tried to give a more well-rounded purpose to each of them. We actually reached out to the community and we have gotten a lot of good feedback, good participation. We spent the last couple of weeks meeting with our committees. Our final committee to meet with is going to be tomorrow, the events committee. And we're excited to report that the participation has grown. So our committee membership has grown. We have a mixture of past committee members and, several new committee members, so that is exciting for us. And they just seem excited to be active and proactive in the community and the events and different things that we're doing. With that being said, we have 2 chamber events coming up. We have Wall in the Fall, that's gonna be September 20th. And again, we're gonna try to finalize all the details tomorrow at our committee meeting. But we are wanting to hold the event in the parking lot where Celebration is held. And so we are going to request permission to block that off during the event. The event will be, like I said, September 20th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we do plan on having a band in some events, so we just like to be able to block that off if we can. I don't know what steps we have to go through to get permissions for that, or if it can just be granted here. I guess I'll find that out, or if y'all want to tell me. And then our second thing coming up is the Homecoming Appreciation Supper on September 26th. Anybody have any questions for me?
And that would be in the park then, the homecoming? Appreciate.
Where however it's usually held is how it'll be, yeah, probably. The only difference is going to be that, I believe, West River Electric usually does the cooking for that, is that correct? And they are having their appreciation supper, something like that, where we're gonna have to look into a different avenue for cooking wise. So, and grill, I guess, because they'll need their grill for theirs.
Do they have an alternate location for the park?
In case it's raining.
Yeah, in case it's raining.
You know, I don't know, I don't know a whole lot of details about it. I'm assuming I'll find out more details tomorrow.
We can do it in our big shop.
Well, I think probably the community center, unless it is spoken for already.
We've had it,
They've done that, the
old gym,
powerhouse, yeah.
powerhouse,
They put a
that
rate-
worked out good.
Yeah, so it sounds like we have options for that. I'm probably the least, educated person when it comes to that on this committee, the event committee.
Does that,
Oh, sorry, Rick.
does that start at 5:30?
I think it starts, yeah, 5:30 till when the game ends, I believe.
I was just gonna say the community center is usually not available because it's the West River Electric annual meeting.
Oh,
It's the night before, so.
There's a wedding on the 20th too, is there not? There's
Is the 20, is the,
the calendar showed it on the 19th and the 20th.
I think homecoming's the
it's
26th.
the 26th, yeah.
And I think that's.
The 20th is Wall in the
Okay,
Fall.
sorry.
And yeah, Golden West annual meeting is the 26th, so they always have it all set up and ready to go, so it's always, it seems like, I think it's always the same weekends.
Okay, so maybe that's why they've used the powerhouse in the past.
Oh, yeah, the
The new,
shop would be great.
We did a
Right there.
spring FFA supper out there in that big wood shop, and it worked really nice, and I would love to partner, because then you just walk right out to the game.
Oh, yeah, that would be nice.
So right out the south end, and we have tables, we could have our tables. I don't need another job, but you could have it in there.
I will definitely offer it up tomorrow at our
I'm not gonna
committee meeting.
provide the cooking though.
I think they have an idea in mind for that, but
He said,
I don't wanna release that until I know for sure that those people are gonna say yes, but anyway, any other questions? No, okay,
Good, thank you. All right, well, even though you're not, Sean.
All right. I don't have anything really exciting like Ally does, but, so, we had the Ag Appreciation Sack Lunch, at Dakota Mill and Grain, and that went really well. Ally actually stepped up and helped out, that day, because I had to run off, to Rapid for something, and Mary stepped in, and Zach made us, lunches for that. We had 25 sacks and they gave them all out, so, which which was really good, and it seemed to go really well, so I thank both Ally and Mary for stepping in and helping out with that. The farm succession planning, has been scheduled for December 3rd at 2:30. And then go right to the pancake supper following that. So I put out a post for that, but I'll do more as we get closer to that. But that's not just for farmers, that's for any business. So if you are thinking about retiring or, in the next few years, now's the time to jump on that and have that conversation with your family and next to kin and all of that. Other than that, I've just been getting everything ready this summer for the fall, because I know all my businesses were busy working and, I think they had a good season. I attended the Economic Development, Association of South Dakota's annual meeting, and I got a lot of great information there. They had, oh, his name just went out of my head, but, can't remember it. Anyhow, they have the big data center that's in Eldon, North Dakota, just north of, Aberdeen. And, he was talking about data centers and all the different types of data centers and, found out that there are several data centers out there that only require 10 to 50 megawatts as opposed to the 100 megawatts that those big centers are, which is something our grid can handle. So that would be maybe a possibility for us. And he talked about the financial boost of the local economy. His company actually goes into the community and merges with the community and helps them build and increase their things. Up in Eldon, they actually, one of the restaurants was getting ready to close and they went in and actually help them set it back up and do that because they had workers coming in and they needed at least one restaurant, and now I think there's 4. So they also pay a huge amount of property taxes and electricity bills that a lot of the community members, electric rate has gone down because they are paying so much. So that has helped out the community a lot. So they do a lot of support and they help build those local communities. So they're maybe a good option as things go forward. Governor Roden was there, as well as Economic Development Commissioner Bill Evan. And they are very strong supporters of economic growth and development in South Dakota. The governor gave a really good analogy that I wanted to use for TIFs, because that's a really difficult thing to understand, because TIFs and discretionary formulas might be on the legislative bill this year. So he said that he has farmland that he wanted to rent out to a farmer. And the first year, he was not gonna take any profit from them because that farmer needs to invest additional capital to get it up and running. And then after that, they would split costs, and that's kind of what a TIF is. You kind of delay your income for a year or 2 so that that company can actually take roots and grow and then be productive for you. Otherwise, it's just sitting there making nobody any money. So I thought that was a good analogy to kind of break that down to a little bit easier understanding level of what those are, because they're kind of difficult to understand. GOED is reorganizing, and they're breaking the state into 3 regions. So there'll be the west, and then there'll be a northeast and a southeast, and they're going to have a team that lives in that territory that will be dedicated to that territory to help those communities in that territory. So it's more of a local as opposed to somebody from Sioux Falls trying to help somebody out here in Rapid City. So that was all good news. Got some information on the upcoming legislative session, and it's going to be yet another interesting year. So keep your ears out there. Property taxes are gonna be up again, and no one really knows how that's gonna play out. So I will be keeping my ear out on that. If there's anything anybody would like us to know or, talk to our legislators about, I'm more than happy to reach out on behalf of the community and businesses. On that level, the Black Hills region and sort of further, all of us economic development directors are kind of getting together to sort of become a unified voice to speak to our legislators so that we can work together and have a strong voice for this side of the river. We're at a disadvantage because we are lower in population, so we don't have as many representatives. And when we come at them with all different conflicting views, we end up losing our foothold in that. So we've decided to get together and communicate and have a unified message so that we can get a stronger, voice in the legislative as a whole. So like I said, once again, I'll keep my ear out there, and if there's an issue that is, important to you or your business, please let me know and I'll see what I can do to advocate for people. And, other than that, we're just gearing up for all of our classes this fall, and that's about it. Anybody have any questions for me? No, all I got.
Thank you. Very informative. Okay, that brings us to item 16. Light pole behind basically Sophie Steer. And Garrett, can you give an update on that? Or tell us, explain it to us, I guess, first of all.
Well,
We
that's,
did find out that a year ago, we had a similar discussion.
right, yeah, it's been talked about for a couple of years, but there's a light pole just on the other side of the alley of the Southeast Steer building there, and when the delivery trucks come, they either hit the building or the light pole.
It's really tight.
And so, and we've talked to West River a couple times and got prices. And I don't know a whole lot about what's going on now, but we talked about splitting the cost with Joe to move it. And moving that pole, lose a light and pole on the corner there. And then the power for the house on the corner that Mettler's own, will have to find a different way to get power there, because it comes from the south, goes to that corner and then feeds. the house on the corner.
So, actually, and this just happened very recently, so I didn't have a chance to update you, but, the cost is gonna be 2,000, and, Joe will split that with us, so it'd be 1,000 on us, if that's approved, meets everyone's approval, and 1,000 for Joe, but that would get replaced and cease to be such a very dangerous situation, actually.
Just kind of move it further to the east then,
Actually, we've talked about moving it and getting rid of it. So I don't know what direction, I didn't see the quote, the newest one. I don't know what they plan to do this time. But it should be gone, it's just. No matter where you put it, it's in the road.
I got a picture of it, looks like it's darn near in the alley almost.
Yeah, it's right on the edge. It's like a beaver's been chewing on one side.
But do we know the actual cost?
Well, according to the CEO, he gave me that amount. It's costing them, more than that, but that's what they agreed to do it for. And so they're picking up everything above the two, and Joe's willing to split it with us. So if we could get approval for that kind of a scenario so that they can move ahead and get this taken care of.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so Stan, is that a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Stan has moved
Second.
and Jerry has seconded. Any other questions or thoughts? Okay, all those, in favor say aye.
Alright.
Opposed, motion carries. So we'll get that off dead center, Garrett, so thank you for all the work you've done on that. Okay. With that being said, we have a resolution in front of us. That resolution is 2504, and it's an intent to enter into an extended agreement. And this is with Eisenbrown Farms, for for a term longer than 180 days for a hay crop after improvements were made. And Stan, I know you've been involved with this. Does anyone have any questions or thoughts for Stan for clarifications?
It's just extended through 2026 and then after. And the years after that, we could go out to bid. After it's been established.
I don't think we had a real good year, didn't we? But
Well,
alfalfa didn't.
no, But I think that it's, alfalfa was coming together.
Yeah, now it is,
Yeah. I had my brain.
Okay, would I have a motion to approve resolution 2504?
So moved.
Okay, Rick has moved
Second.
and Stan seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That moves us on to resolution 2505. And this one was, Carolyn, we asked her to bring a resolution back to us after a discussion at the last meeting. Carolyn, would you like to expand on this resolution to help our viewing public understand?
So what I had understood from the council at the last meeting, that we would increase the base rate on the water and sewer by $1. And the progression rate of anything above the 2,000 minimum would stay the same, except for residential sewer is a flat rate. So that's just $1 increase with no progression to it. And then the solid waste fee would increase by $2.50. And that would be effective September 1st. So when we read meters the last week of August, that increase will not show then, because that'll be for August usage. But when we read meters the end of September, that's when that increase will show up.
Okay, and so in this resolution, it actually indicates what the rates are gonna be for each residential and commercial. Which residential is gonna be $49
For 2,000,
and commercial is gonna be $61.50,
for 2,000.
and out of city is 49. And out of city commercial then will be $61.50.
Correct. Now, the out of city limits, they have an availability fee, which puts them above what inside city limits people pay. So that won't change, that availability fee.
Flat rate for residential sewer will be $27.50 and commercial sewer shall be $63.50 then.
Yes.
Okay. So are there any questions? Thoughts on that? Would I have a motion to approve resolution 2505?
So moved.
Jerry moved
second.
and Dan seconded. Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, that brings us to the senior finance officer report. Then Carolyn, please.
So last week, there were some policy committee meetings that is held by the municipal league. And I am a part of the taxation and revenue policy committee. And some of the discussion that went on of making some changes to, and then we will, Sarah, the director, was directed to make those changes, and then in October at the conference, we will revisit these and make sure everybody's on the same page with it. And so there was discussion on increasing the video lottery fees from $50 per machine, and then that increase would mirror the CIP increase, which would bring that up to $117 per machine. There was discussion on the policy supporting counties to charge a minimum of $15 for collecting delinquent service fees and nuisance actions for municipalities. Also working with librarians to reinstate the state funding that was changed, and the policy on cybersecurity to include AI verbiage in there. And then to work with the county and schools on property tax change to offset the property tax change that was done, and to assist the county for additional tax on alcohol to support the services that are needed with alcohol abuse. And it would be distributed to all the counties based on the population. The General Government Policy Committee, they just had discussion on changing the election policy to regain local control rather than having to combine with the county on that. So we'll see where that takes us, because we still don't really know anything of that election change, just that if we do have to combine with them, it'd either, we have to decide on June or November. But there's not really been anything brought back for us on that, but. And the Public Safety Committee, there was discussion on the issues that vape shops are not using regulated products. So they're going to be doing some further, which was kind of surprising. I don't know how that works, but. So they were looking into that. And then the Public Works Committee is to support keeping tips for infrastructure development and property tax resolution for possible rewrite to the bill. So that's the things that were discussed during those meetings that I sat in on. They were Zoom meetings. I've sent out the letters to begin the budget process, and those budget requests will come back, are supposed to come back to me September 15th. I will start inputting the data for that, and I will start scheduling with the Finance Committee on some meetings to start with the budget process. I did have a resident come in today that had concern with garbage totes, the way they're set out at the curb, that they're set too close to the curb, and then the trucks cannot actually pick them up with their trucks the way they are. They have to actually get out and move them away from the curb in order to do that. And he just wondered if, I haven't gotten any concern from the Kiefers about that, but he wondered if maybe the city could, I said we could send out a code red asking residents to set them away from the curb a few distance, you know, so that the trucks can just go along and pick them up.
I think the issue is that they put them out backwards,
Okay,
not too close to the curb, because that thing can reach out. It can pick them up behind the curb if
okay,
they have to, but if they're not turned the right way, and there is the arrow right on top of them that says curbside.
right,
So when they lift them up, lid's backwards
okay,
and to dump them. So that's why they're having to get out.
okay. I said I would just bring it up to see if there was if you guys had heard anything from residents about that, but I guess if that's the case, I think we'll just wait for Kiefers to reach out to us, or for them to ask for the residents to do a better job.
The driver will use a white magic marker and write and put an arrow. Some of us old people didn't understand.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then my last thing that I had on my report was to address September and October meetings. And it's really like the first meeting in September is supposed to be the 4th, which is the week of Labor Day, or following the week of Labor Day, which I don't have a problem keeping that date, as long as everybody else is okay with it. The next scheduled date should be the 18th, but the first meeting in October is supposed to be October 2nd, and that is the week of conference that Katie and I will be out attending. So that meeting will need to be held on the 9th of October, which there are 5 Thursdays in the month of October. So I feel that moving it to the 9th and then the second meeting being on the 23rd is okay. But at some point, there's gonna be 3 weeks in between meetings because of that change
I can't make the 23rd meeting, I'll be out of town.
of October.
Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't know if you still wanted to keep the September 18th meeting, or if you wanted to move that one for any reason, so that then there was only the 2 weeks, or if you're okay with 3 weeks between the second meeting of October and the first meeting, or the second meeting of September and the first meeting of October.
I think we should leave the September 18th.
Leave things alone there, okay?
Yes,
I'm fine with that.
yes.
Can we move the first October meeting to the 6th instead of the 9th and keep the 16th the same?
Move that one to the 6th. The only thing about that is we won't get back from the conference until Friday the 3rd. And I'm guessing there's gonna be a lot of things happening in the office that we'll need to catch up on.
I'm not leadership classes.
What's that?
Could you do, are you doing that folder? Could we do earlier in the week?
Oh, yeah, it could be early in the week of the 20th, that'd be awesome. I could make it,
Okay.
I can make it up till the 23rd.
That would be a better workable situation, you know, with the timeline, so I don't know of the week of the 20th. What,
Do you like Tuesday or Monday?
either one works for me, looks like maybe Tuesday would be better, because it looks like Katie is out on the 20th.
Well, that'd be awesome.
How does that look for everybody? Everybody okay with it?
Yeah.
21st of October.
And then what about the first meeting in October?
That one I feel needs to,
Be the 9th.
9th?
yeah, the night, I mean, we could do. I just don't feel, I'm not comfortable doing it on Monday, where we're
Yeah.
gonna be playing catch up.
Yeah.
Um,
Makes sense.
That would be gone.
and it looks like Katie's gonna be out, Monday and Tuesday, so Wednesday would be the soonest, and I don't know, I know you guys. I don't know if you're comfortable doing Wednesdays, we usually don't, but doesn't matter.
So Thursday, the 9th would work?
Yeah.
Works for me.
And then the 21st Tuesday of October, right?
Awesome.
So, I will bring that back onto the next agenda to approve those dates of the meeting to be October meetings, since we're not changing any September meetings. I'll bring back to approve the dates in October for the meetings, because those, when you change them, you have to have a motion to make that change. If everybody's okay with that. Okay,
All right, anything else?
that was all I had.
Okay, thank you, Kelly. Okay. Agenda item 20, Katie,
Sure, the only
you've been doing a lot of research here for us.
Yeah, the only thing that I have is, earlier this week, I had to call Golden West to find out about just some call forwarding stuff, and they told me about their internet phone service, and so, I got a quote from them to switch, Garrett was actually in the office when Travis came in, and we got a quote to switch our, doesn't have anything to do with our email or our internet service, but just our phone services for our finance office and fax, chamber office, economic development office, and public works in their fax. And so, it's just, the Golden West phones, and they go through the internet service instead of like your old phone line. And so our current, phone bill for those offices, it's $301.55 a month. And if we switch over to the new ones, it'll be $146.65 a month. And so it'll be $1,759 a month, or year, excuse me, savings. So I think we're gonna go ahead and switch that. And along with that, they have an app where they were explaining to Garrett, like for their on-call services, they can forward the phones through an app, and when the calls come in, they can tell that it's not a call that's being dialed directly to the phone, it's coming in as an on-call type of a, resident call and things like that. So it seems like it's a pretty neat deal. So I called Brittany up in Phillip and Mona today, because they just got it installed last week, and Mona said it's too early to tell, but she didn't hate it, and Brittany was liking it. So, a bunch of businesses in Phillip have it, and so do, the Wall Buildings, or not, the Wall Building Center here and Rush's have it. So, a lot of businesses are switching over to it, and it's a 3-year contract, and then at the end of that 3 years, if we want to renew it, they bring us all new phones, because the phone is part of that cost. So it's not just your not just your service, it's the phone cost. So never have to buy a new phone again. I think it
And
is.
they provide you technical service.
Yep, Yeah, anything goes wrong with it, they will, you know, they come in, they hook it up, that is a 200 I think for all of us, it's $250, one-time charge to come get us all set up. But then after that, if we have any problems with it whatsoever, they come, they fix it, they replace it, there's no charge. We have any problems with anything, they come fix it. And then with that app, they can even, pretty much make it fix it however they want with our offices as far as how it rings and sends it to voicemail or anything like that. So it's kind of a neat thing. So, yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and get it switched. They said it takes 6 weeks once we sign the contract, but once we get it signed, we'll.
It's
These
amazing that we're looking at a new phone system and the price is going down.
Yes, yeah.
Yay.
I mean, to be saving that much a month and to be
That
not,
doesn't happen.
no,
It sound really handy,
yes,
especially like for us on call, we can just go in and, you know, now we gotta do like 72 pound and phone number and switch it, but you can just switch it. I think it was right on the app, you can just click on
Yeah.
whatever phone you was on call.
So can you switch it then from, like, you can just be on your cell phone, you don't even have to be, like, in your office?
I think so.
Yeah.
If I remember right.
Yep, he said you can transfer and forward it to, your personal cell phone, you can transfer it to a landline, you can, however you wanna do it, it's, he said with that app, they can make it do anything you want, so.
And you get to pick your own hold because it keeps up people so long.
Now, I did complain to Brittany about that today, because when I called, I got their whole music, and it was elevator music, and I said, hey, come on, and she said a lot of it, you have to pay for it, you have to find free, royalty-free music, which she's working on, so.
This is going.
I know.
It's the add-on.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's all, yeah.
Well, it sounds very efficient
Yeah.
and, moving ahead and staying up with technology instead of kind of behind the ball. And so do you need approval to move ahead for that contract? or-
No, because we're saving money, so I don't believe so.
Okay, so I have consensus then of everybody that's okay to go with the new, okay, phenomenal, that is awesome. Okay, anything else then, Katie?
Nope, that's all.
Thanks for all the work you've been doing on the website too, by the way,
Yeah.
for that improvement. So that's a tedious process and, but we get a lot of that changed over. Okay, then Garrett,
The pool's closed down, we've been working on there, just doing maintenance stuff and putting stuff away for the winter. I had a really good year and lifeguards are great. There was a few kid issues, but it was a really good year up there. The light pole I got hit out here should be fixed next week. I don't know, did they bring, or have you got the check for that yet from Progressing? Or, okay. So that'll be fixed. Did I talk to you guys about the leak at well 6? Last couple weeks, kind of embarrassed. No,
I know about that.
okay, well, I don't even remember when it was. A couple weeks ago, we had where we inject disinfectant into the water, the pipe broke and shot water into the ceiling and insulation and pretty sure there was about 4 foot of water in the building and it got into some of the heater and the power and stuff. So we turned it into insurance and we, you know, re-sheet rocked and insulated everything, but I just have to get someone here to look at the power, the panel and the power. Gotta get a new meter head. Gotta make sure the furnace works, but it's one. We put one of those, wall mount ones in well 2 and it's way more efficient than the old one that we have in there, so we'll probably be updating that. But yeah, it was really nice driving up to that well house and seeing water squirting out of the corners. And let's see, we've been moving stuff, seasonal stuff to the transfer station. We're getting a lot of, it's gonna be handy having that down there. to store stuff that we'll use all the time. But then I just would like to thank the community for all the prayers and help through it.
You have tremendous support from the community, from this council. Your favorite hit.
Thank you. That's all I have.
You do what you need, yeah, perfectly.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, moves us on to the mayor's report. On Monday night, I attended Central States Fair because Wall Meats was recognized for the Agribusiness Award that night. It was phenomenal, see that, business being recognized by Elevate and Touchstone, also Monument, helped sponsor that. So it was a huge crowd, ag appreciation, people from all around the area, actually. And one of the things that was mentioned in their recognition is that Wall Meat started the Beef to School program, and it now serves 18 schools in western South Dakota. And the neat part about that, it was Wall Economic Development Ag Committee that started that program in this state. And it was under the leadership of that Ag Committee, Josh Geigel and Danny Herring. Lynn Dunker was very instrumental from the Wall School, and they all helped it put it in motion locally. We had instant people that were willing to donate beef for that process or for that program. And then it spread through the word of the South Dakota Ag Conference teachers, our teachers conference, the South Dakota School Nutrition Conference. Lynn presented there, and it was at South Dakota Farm Bureau. So it was just really cool, number one, to see a Wall business recognized for this significant award. And then secondly, that one of the things they mentioned was the Beef to School, and know that it was our economic development that started that. So kudos to us. And then yesterday, we had an amazing airport steering committee. First of all, Mead Hunt indicated that we were approved for that design grant to design the apron. And so there will be some documents that they will be bringing to us next meeting, indicating the process that they'll be going through that will then help them move to the bid process. So expect that at the next meeting. The airport lease contracts were discussed because we've had an enormous interest for new hangars out there. And so those two, I appointed a subcommittee there. They will be bringing some new lease agreements for us to approve. The opportunity for hangar development is huge in this area. Rapid City is kind of pushing the small planes out. Hot Springs, Sturgis, and Spearfish are full, so we have the opportunity to build, own, lease hangars here. And I really want to express my appreciation to Roshan for all the legwork she did, comparing all the rates from all these other communities, because it was agreed that if we kept our rates very reasonable, that we could incentivize people to come here and build hangars that then would affect our property tax. So it's all good. And also, it was indicated that as soon as that apron is in place, then the possibility of getting fuel available here for airplanes is very, very close to happening. So that was a huge thing. I contacted Wildland Fire, and they will be setting their seat base up in early March. And there was also a hangar covenant committee appointed so that we could kind of determine what do we want our hangars to look like. at the Wall Airport, so they'd be consistent. So those, and the two upcoming events, that are going to be happening is September fifth, there's a big fly-in to Spearfish that weekend. And, so Rashawn, Anna, and Dave are gonna work on a welcome to Wall. Come fly to Wall for breakfast on that, weekend, so that's, again, economic development driven. And then also the Experimental Aviation Club does what they call a burger burn. And, it was agreed that we would love to host that meeting, and so, again, Anna and Dave and Rashawn are going to work at making that happen, when they decide just exactly when they would like to do that, and we would host it right there at the airport. So those are some of the things, that came out of that. Rick, you attended that meeting, you too agreed.
It was a spectacular meeting. Just a lot of things dovetailed together. The apron design, once we get that going, we'll be able to have a fuel depot, which is huge because pilots don't wanna really land at an airport that they can't get fuel, which makes sense. And, it's just, the airport's really, coming along well, great asset to Wall. Travis, Hershey's report from Meat Hunt was awesome. It's a really exciting time for the airport.
So it's just, things that I thought were gonna be discussion items, just were on a roll yesterday, so we're very, tickled, for all of that, so. And then I also wanted to mention that, we have been following up on some of our nuisance concerns, and so there wasn't a letter sent to a business that, it was brought to our attention, they had weeds and piles of materials that needed to be organized a little bit better. And, the other previous properties that we had approached them about, those folks too have really made a difference on their properties, so I just wanted to let people know that we are addressing those and we are getting cooperation from those folks. So with that being said, that completes, my mayor report for this evening. Is there any items for discussion that need to be brought to our attention, but no action will be taken?
I have an item for discussion. I guess in the last month, two cars were T-boned, at South Boulevard and Main Street, two different cars. One was, if I'm correct, was, Mike Anderson's pickup, driven by Todd. And he was with Sylvia Ryan vehicle, and they were, going down South Boulevard, and they got T-boned from Main Street, I think coming from the grocery store area. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then another time, I think it was, Mitch and Bryce Moser coming from football practice.
I witnessed it, yeah.
You witnessed it. Were they traveling eastbound?
They were going westbound.
Westbound.
And the vehicle was coming from the grocery and they didn't even stop.
Were both vehicles coming from the grocery side?
Yes.
Well,
On
that's
both
interesting.
incidents.
And anyway, one of the citizens wondered if there could be a sign attached someplace that says cross traffic doesn't stop.
We could get a hold of the
Or
DOT.
something.
That's their sign.
They run that.
Yeah, so we'll either have to go through them or just have them. I can take care of that.
Well, that'd be awesome. Anything that could help. There's 2 in 1 month is pretty dramatic.
Cross traffic does not stop. Yeah, we got done with the phone, I was driving along, I was like, I don't think that pickup's gonna stop. Wow.
We're okay.
So as he stands, some, DOT has been working on, our thought it was your your property to DOT.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a private contractor or DOT themselves, I'm not sure.
But they're putting a curve in, right? And then that'll run all the way up to the alley, right?
Well, I think so, but I see they kind of quit. I never did talk to anybody, but I assume there's more work to be done.
Yeah, they put in a new gutter pan to the alley,
Right.
curved down.
Because I understood they were gonna lift the alley would be raised up. So that well, water can't run, when it runs, it's gotta run down South Boulevard.
Kinda looks like it's still gonna go that way to me, but.
Well, not me.
Guess we'll find out, so.
I understood that it was all gonna be raised and then I would have to, on my side, there would be a kind of a drop off, so I'd have to fill it in or. But it looks like it
Looks the same.
the way it looks right now, I don't know if it dissolved anything. It just, it flows the curve up, but
Yeah.
the water's still gonna go in where it went before.
Well, that's not good.
No,
Okay, great. Are there any other items for discussion? Okay, so our next meeting will be September 4th at 6:30 PM. And we do have a need for executive session this evening. Would I have a minute?
I make a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing legal personnel issues according to SDCL 1-25-2 (1).
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
you turn your recorder off when you're ready.
Yes. I'm practicing till I get my new one.
All right, I call us out of executive session. Is there any other items that need to come before the council this evening? Hearing none, meeting is adjourned.